Oh, we are so back. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Toast Hammer. Office still under construction. But, you know what else is under construction? My freaking Admech army. We got the Data Slate of all Data Slates, hot and fresh off the presses about 2 weeks ago. Scheduling be like that sometimes. But what I can say is that I'm super excited to play Admech again for maybe the first time ever since 10th edition dropped a full year ago. Now, there are a wealth of changes that are covered in depth on other channels and other places on the internet, so I'm not going to go into depth into each and every single one, but I will share what I am most excited about while I take you through myself expanding my army in a short and entertaining time-lapse fashion. So I am building up 20 Arcoflagellants. And you might be saying to yourself, hey Toasty, the Sisters of Battles unit, I thought you were expanding your Admech army. And I am. These are Electropriests, because, well, the Electropriest model, while the art is super cool and super badass, the model is not so much. So instead, I am using these Arcoflagellants as proxies for Fulgrite Electropriests. Not only because I like the model better, but second reason, Admech canonically manufactures and uses them in the lore, so I think it is not a huge leap of imagination to say that my Ford just uses Arcoflagellants as maybe vat-born servitors that they just pump full of combat drugs and terrifying weapon. Why not? It's more practical than pretty much anything else they come up with. And the third reason, they're about half as expensive. Arcoflagellants, despite being 160 points for 10 models, cost the same price in dollars as 5 Electropriests, who are 120 points for 10 models. So we get some classic GW logic here of Admech players being forced to pay at least twice as much for less points than everybody else. Game, even though these Sisters of Battle models are technically newer sculpts, make it make sense. I can't, and the abyss is staring back into me at this point. But anyway, we are using these as Fulgrite Electropriests because one of my favorite things is back, which is melee Admech. I had a lot of fun playing Ryza in 9th edition Admech, and although I was cautiously optimistic about the Data Psalm Codex detachment, we just didn't have the damage or the data sheets to really get us through the edition. So that is why I'm super hype about this Data Slate actually affecting our close combat as well as our ranged boys. You know I'm going to be choosing the Conqueror Imperative every single time, advancing up the board, getting that +1 to weapon skill, plus additional AP when we make attack. It's going to be crazy, it's going to be awesome, and I'm super excited. So that is the current expansion. I'm planning on running 20 Fulgrite Electropriests, 10 Corpuscari Electropriests, probably a boat because I have it, another boat eventually, and some other fun thing fill in the gaps. I'm also very excited for Belisarius Call, who seems still expensive but not totally useless now. He hits like a truck in melee, he can give buffs to units around him. Overall, he's a really solid utility piece and someone who can really get up in the mix and hold their own against a myriad of threats while being really hard to kill in the process. So, one of my favorite kit bashes of all time is seeing more table play, and that is super exciting. With that being said, there is a small modification I'm making to these Arcoflagellants in which I'm removing the prison tags from all of their heads because, well, these ones aren't prisoners. They were bred and born to fulfill this specific capacity because the Admech are horrific masters of body horror and existential dread, And I want to reflect that with my models as well. So we will be using these guys. And I think I've just decided in the lore at this point for my homebrew Forge world that there are no Electropriests in the Forge. Because the civil war that they had a while ago, they killed each other. Or, I don't know, some other equally stupid reason like that. And there just aren't any anymore, and we never got more of them. Because, you know what? I don't like them, and so I don't need to include them in my army lore, in the models, or whatever. At the end of the day, your dudes are your dudes, and you can do whatever you want with them. If you really like Electropriests, hey, more power to you. But for me, this is both a cost-saving measure and an aesthetic measure. If you guys are interested in hearing what perhaps the best proxy models to save a little bit of money on an Admech is, let me know in the comments below, because I've done quite a few proxies at this point and would be potentially interested in making a video about that if people seem to be interested in that topic. But yes, I will be playing my first game of new Admech in just a few days, so I really need to get these models done. So I will leave you with that. Admech is good. Maybe. But even if they're not good, they're fun. Again, for the first time. And, yeah, I got some models to finish. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace!